All right, so banyan trees. Ready for a deep dive.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome to Old Florida Now, where we uncover the rich history and hidden stories of the Sunshine State. Each episode will explore the people, places, and events that shaped Florida's past. Let's dive in.
I think this one might surprise some people.
Right. It's not exactly dinosaurs or hidden temples. It's like, oh, look, a tree. Nice shade.
Yeah, but sometimes the most fascinating stories are the ones hiding in plain sight.
Exactly. And trust me, this one's got it all. History, mystery, even a little bit of Thomas Edison thrown in for good measure.
Don't forget city planning.
Oh, right. How could I forget the urban planning angle? We're talking about Venice, Florida, by the way. Gorgeous place, that classic old Florida charm. But banyan trees.
That's the thing, right? They're not exactly native to Florida.
Yeah, you don't exactly picture banyan trees when you think of like alligators and palm trees.
More like India, Southeast Asia, places with a very different vibe.
So how did these massive, sprawling trees become such a signature part of Venice's identity?
Well, that's where things get interesting. It all goes back to a single tree and a famous friend. Back in 1928, Edison gifted a banyan tree to his friends, the Marvins. And get this, they built the Banyan House, this beautiful historic home in Venice.
Hold on, so we're talking about a tree that was literally planted by someone connected to Thomas Edison. And it's still standing.
You got it. Almost 100 years old and still going strong.
That's not just history, that's practically a direct link to one of the most innovative minds ever. I mean, what was he thinking? Gifting a tree.
Knowing Edison, it probably wasn't just a random choice. He was known for his forward thinking, his ability to see potential where others couldn't.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. And I'm guessing that single tree planted by Edison's friends had something to do with Venice becoming practically synonymous with banyans.
You catching on quickly. It's all connected. You see, city planners in Venice were looking for ways to create a distinct identity for the city. And they were really taken by this unique, exotic tree.
It's funny how inspiration can come from the most unexpected places.
Absolutely. This one tree sparked a whole movement. They started incorporating banyans into their designs, using them to line the streets and create these amazing natural canopies.
So they envisioned a city shaded by these incredible trees.
Exactly. They wanted to create a certain atmosphere, a feeling. And let's be real, when you picture Venice with its charming architecture, those banyan trees are a huge part of that picture.
They're like something out of a storybook. These massive trees with their roots spreading out, their branches, creating this incredible canopy overhead.
It's magical. And it's that magic, that unique blend of nature and architecture that makes Venice so special.
Okay, so we've gone from a single tree gifted by Edison to Venice becoming known for these incredible banyan canopies. But I have a feeling there's more to this story, right?
Oh, absolutely. We haven't even scratched the surface.
Because I have a feeling the Banyan House is more than just a footnote in this story. And you know I love a good historical house.
Then you're in for a treat, because the Banyan House is a key part of this story, and it's a must-see for any visitor to Venice.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. Let's unpack the Banyan House story a bit. So the Banyan House, it's not just like any old house with a tree in the yard, right?
Oh, definitely not. We're talking about a direct connection to that very first banyan, the one Edison gifted to the Marvins. They built the house back in 1926.
No way. So the house, the tree, it's all still there?
It's all there. And it's incredible. You can practically feel the history when you step onto the property.
Okay, now I'm picturing myself sipping lemonade on a porch swing under that massive tree. What's the vibe like?
Well, luckily, you don't have to just imagine it. The Banyan House is actually a vacation destination now.
Seriously, you're kidding. People can actually stay there.
Yep. It's super popular. People come from all over to experience a little slice of old Florida charm.
Wow. Okay, so not only can I visit this incredible tree, but I can practically sleep with it.
Yeah.
And speaking of, if I visit, am I going to be tripping over roots everywhere I go?
You know, it's funny you should ask that. The tree is massive, and its roots do spread out. But it's all part of the experience.
Okay, that's amazing. So you walk around and it's like the roots are part of the landscape, part of the house almost?
Exactly. The house and the tree have practically grown together. It's this perfect example of living in harmony with nature.
I love that. Now, are all the banyan trees in Venice related to that first one from Edison?
That's a great question. And while that first tree is definitely special, it's not the only one. Remember those city planners who were so inspired by that initial banyan?
Oh, yeah. They wanted to create a specific look for Venice, right?
Exactly. So over the years, they planted more and more banyans.
So it's like Edison's tree sparked this whole movement. Venice wanted that same vibe everywhere.
Think about walking down a street shaded by these incredible trees, their branches forming a canopy overhead. It's magical.
And smart. Those trees probably provide some much needed relief from that Florida sunshine.
Absolutely. So not only are they beautiful, but they actually make the city more livable.
Form and function, the best of both worlds. Which, speaking of, reminds me of something else entirely. We were talking about Marjorie Stoneman Douglas earlier, and I vaguely remember something about her and banyan trees. What's the connection there?
You've got a great memory. And you're right, there is a connection. She's obviously best known for her work protecting the Everglades. But her love of nature went far beyond any single ecosystem.
Okay, so she wasn't out there planting banyans all over Florida or anything.
No, but she was known to appreciate them. She understood how resilient they were, how they could thrive even in harsh conditions. Kind of like the mangroves and sawgrass of the Everglades she fought so hard to protect.
Oh, that's a really cool connection. Both the banyans and the Everglades represent this powerful life force, this ability to adapt and overcome challenges.
Exactly. And that actually ties into the deeper symbolism behind banyan trees.
Oh, there's symbolism with banyan trees. Tell me more.
Although there's a lot of symbolism there. In many cultures, banyan trees are seen as these powerful symbols of longevity, wisdom, even immortality in some cases.
Immortality. Wow, that's pretty intense for a tree.
Right. But when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Their branches spread out so far, providing shade and shelter for generations, almost like they've witnessed the passage of time itself.
And those roots. Don't forget those incredible root systems.
Exactly. They anchor the tree connected to the earth. It's like this powerful symbol of strength and interconnectedness.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense, especially when we tie it back to Venice.
Right. The city and its trees, they both share this incredible resilience. They've weathered storms, both literally and figuratively, and come out stronger.
And now I'm back to picturing that incredible root system, reaching out in all directions, supporting this massive, thriving tree. It's a pretty powerful metaphor.
It really is. And it's not just about physical strength either. In many cultures, banyans are also associated with knowledge, wisdom, even spirituality.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. There's something about sitting under a banyan tree. It's like you're in this peaceful, almost sacred space.
Exactly. It's a sense of peace, of connection to something larger than ourselves that has drawn people to banyans for centuries. They're not just trees. They're symbols of resilience, wisdom, interconnectedness, all these things that resonate deeply with us on a human level.
This whole deep dive has been a great reminder that the most fascinating stories are often right in front of us. We just have to know where to look.
Absolutely. And sometimes all it takes is a simple tree to spark a journey of discovery.
Well said. And on that note, we'll be wrapping up this deep dive into the world of banyan trees.
Hopefully our listeners will never look at a tree the same way again.
I know I won't. From Thomas Edison's surprising tree gift to the grand vision of Venice's city planners, and now this incredible symbolism, it just goes to show you there's always more to discover, even in the most everyday things. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to Old Florida Now. Stay tuned for more stories from the Sunshine State's past. Until next time.